Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to solve another question from IIT-JAM Mathematical Statistics paper 2020, right? This is a numerical answer type question and it is a 1 mark question. This is a very simple question if you know how to perform this integration well. Well, actually it seems difficult, but it is very easy because you can invert the order of integration and then solve it very quickly. Let me show you how this is done. So in order, because if you start by solving this integral directly, you would be stuck with the integration of this thing, because performing the integration first with respect to x with this kind of function would be a difficult task. So what you can do instead is change the limits of integration and then first of all integrate with respect to y and then with respect to x, so that some few of the terms may cancel each other, right? So let's get started. In order to change the integration of order of integration, so for this, to solve the given integration from 0 to 1 y square to 1 e to the power x by square root x dx dy, we need to change the order of integration, right? So how we can do that? For that, what we have to do, we have to draw the region. So we need to sketch or graph the region. So to graph the region here, you should notice the limits. So we have the limits as here x is given to be this and y is given to be this one, right? So you can clearly see that you have x is equal to y square as one of the limit. Another limit is x is equal to 1, right? Another limit is y is equal to 0. And another limit is y is equal to 1. So you have all the 4 limits written down here. So in order to graph the region, you first of all have to write these limits, and according to these limits here, you would have to draw these curves, the same curves on these coordinate axes, right? So let's draw them quickly. So here you can very easily see that say this is 1, say this is 1, right? So here you have first of all you have this y as equal to 0, y as equal to 0, that is your first slide. So this is the x-axis, right? So one is this one, so let me draw it by some other color. So one is this line. Next line is y is equal to 1, so it would be the line which would pass through this point. So this would be the region. Obviously it would go in this direction also, but we'll be looking at those the portion where it is we have the combined portion, right? Now about x is equal to 1, we have this line. X is equal to 1, we have this line. So this is your x is equal to 1. And what about this? This is a parabola, right? This is a right hand parabola. So obviously it would pass through the point 0, 0, and it would also pass through the point 1, 1. So let me mark this as the point 0, 0, and this is the point 1, 1. So it would pass through these 2 points. So let's draw it like this. It would be going like this, right? So what is the region that is common to all of them? So you have this as one of the line, another one is this one, right? And the third one is like this one, right? So your region here is of this kind. So this is our region. For this region, previously we were given firstly the limits of x and then the limits of y. Now what we require is, we wanted to convert the given integral y from 0 to 1 and x varying from y square to 1 e to the power x by square root x dx dy into the one where we now have first of all the limits for y and then the limits for x, and the function would remain as such, no change in this one, but here the order would change. Firstly, integration would be performed with respect to y and then with respect to x. So for that, what we have to do here is we just have to write the limits of y first. So that means the limits of y would be the variable limits. So what you can do, you could take a straight line passing through this region like this, right, going in upward direction. So if you move this line to and fro, it would cover whole of the x direction, and here you see this line enters the region at what point, what is the value of y here. So you see y is equal to 0 at this point, and it leaves the region at which point? This is the point where it leaves the region. Here what is the value of y? So here if you see what is the equation of this line, it is x is equal to y square. So what is the value of y here at this point? So here the value of y is equal to square root x. So you obtain these limits, these are your variable limits. So you have y is equal to 0 here and square root x here. And what about x? X varies from this from here to here. If you shift whole of this line horizontally in this direction and this direction, it would cover whole of the given region. So the limits of x, they vary from 0 to 1, right? So this is how you obtain the integration limits. Now what you have to do, you just have to solve this one. So first of all, we'll be solving this much portion. This is very simple, x varying from 0 to 1. The integration, now this does not contain y, and we are performing integration with respect to y. So that means we'll keep this function as constant and treat that we have to perform the integration of 1. So the integration of 1 with respect to y, so that is going to be equal to y only. So we have e to the power x by square root x as constant, and we have y as the variable that we obtain after performing the integration, right? So we have dx here. So now we have to substitute the limits of y here, right? So e to the power x as such, square root x as such, then the limits would be square root x minus 0, and we now have to perform the integration with respect to x. So you can very easily see this thing is x varying from 0 to 1, e to the power x by square root x dx. So this square root which was making the problem in performing the integration has been cancelled out. So we are just left with the integration of e to the power x, which is e to the power x only. Here the limits of x, they varying from 0 to 1, so it is e to the power 1 minus e to the power 0, which is e minus 1. And what is the value of e if you solve from calculator, because that is allowed in the paper? So you have 2.718 minus 1, so which is equal to 1.718 roughly, and it is nearly equal to 1.72. So this is your final answer, right? So you have 1.72 as your final answer. So I hope you understood this question well. Well, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching.